All right, happy Tuesday, everyone. I hope you all had a good weekend. I actually had a pretty good weekend. Got a lot of stuff done around the house. Still October, so we're gonna be doing some Spooktober stuff. If you guys follow Facebook, Instagram, I missed the submission yesterday. Just to let you guys see what I was working on over out at the airport. I kind of did some mobile stuff today, so wasn't too bad for that. Got to work on some autopilot stuff. Got a ton of new avionics work just came in. I got a couple of airplanes that just decided they wanted to have complete panel overlays. So those should be some pretty neat stuff coming down in the future and on the pike. Be doing some CAD work on that, so where we can see some of the neat art pieces that I'll be coming up with. Make some new custom overlays, and we'll do some. Maybe I'll try and get some video of also we're going over to some of the CNC shops and maybe the water jet place, and maybe I can get even the laser cutter. That guy will be let me do some video filming also for that. Maybe we'll post that as well. But anyway, thank you for joining me today. I hope your days went well. If you guys are on here, by all means, I have my multi-stream up to where you can I can see everybody's chats and stuff, so I won't be able to type back to it, but I can at least chat back to you guys. So don't hesitate to say hi. Tell me how you're doing today, what you've been up to. And I'm going to pop up over to my Clip Studio Paint screen, and we'll look at the Spooktober events that they have for different challenges, and we'll get started on another one, and I will also show you what we worked on this past Thursday in case you missed it. So let's get started. All right. So I got the Spooktober poster up here. We did actually let me put my glove on, get going. Frontierman, hello. How's your Tuesday going? How'd your birthday go too? Did you have a good birthday? And let's see. Anyway, so last time we worked on the number 24, the roller skate one. And when you look at that and you look at the others, it was the blue text. So it was Batgirl, zombies, ghosts, and monsters. We did a couple of quick sketches on it, but we ended up coming up with the Batgirl, a monster, which was Frank, and a zombie, which I kind of did in 80s format. We haven't finished the coloring yet of the Batgirl and stuff. I got the base colors down. We did the roller skate thing sort of in an 80s theme to it. So, of course, made Frank in a tracksuit. And the zombie I did, of course, got to pay homage to Thriller there, Michael Jackson, so I put him in Michael Jackson's outfit. And, of course, Batgirl, we just kind of gave her a neat little 80s outfit and stuff to it. But what we're going to work on is today, let me go ahead and close this guy out. I think we'll do some new sketch stuff. And the one that kind of caught my eye, I know you can kind of jump around everywhere. The one that caught my eye, though, was this one right here, the number 28, the yoga one. I think we might be able to do some pretty funny looking poses with yoga. And it's in the dark blue, it's in the blue lettering as well. So, of course, we will do the blue, which will be the Batgirl, zombies, ghosts, and any monsters. So if you guys think of a neat idea that comes with that, by all means, type it in and stuff. And we'll see if we can come up with some neat sketching pieces. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and see if I can get to one of my... Let's do an 11 by 17. Let's make that template sort of like the cardstock tan color. Is that the right one? There we go. We're doing an 11 by 17 piece. And we'll go to a sketch brush, and we'll use just like a dark brown, maybe a little bit of reddish color for what we'll do for our sketching and whatnot. So, yoga. So let's go ahead and add in some type here. That was number 28. We'll put that in here. We'll go number 28, yoga. And of course, I probably need to put that into a darker text as well. Perfect. So that way we'll have that ready to rock. Go to there. Let's just put that off to the side. Alright, it's got that sketch brush. So what we need, geez, yoga. So I guess what we'll do is get some yoga pose looks and see what we can come up with. Let's see. We want... Got to maybe do a couple of, make them a little bit hilarious for it. We'll do a quick little search up here for some interesting yoga poses. That way we can kind of have some accuracy to it. Let's see. So a zombie one. Let's see here. What can we do for a zombie? What if we do? Let's see. What do we want to do? Boy, there is a ton of yoga poses out here. Let's see. Maybe. Oh, this one, that looks kind of funny. Maybe we can do something with that. Let's open that image up in a new window. See. That almost is kind of hilarious. Let's see if I can. I'll sketch out that little. We'll sketch out this little piece real quick here, and we'll. Oh, come on. Turn on, close all my notifications out right now. It's starting to bother me. Okay. So maybe we'll do this one as a zombie. And we can run a quick pose, like maybe we'll draw some basic shape lines out. And we'll do so like that. We'll have a hip area here. And we'll run it down. So, and let's see, maybe we'll run that about that way. We'll run, kind of get just a roughing down here, but we'll make it this pose we'll do, and then what we'll actually add on to it is we will kind of give it a little funny twist to it. Like almost kind of got a neat little idea for this as well. So we'll do that, give the rib cage area. So, and instead of the head being, there'll be almost like a failed yoga pose. What we'll do with the zombie one, almost like he was trying to make it work, but it didn't quite happen. So let's rotate this guy out to where he's a little bit like so, and we got that. Let's shrink the sketch down a tiny bit so I can throw some more out here. Let's see. We'll do, put the head sort of sideways this time. Actually, maybe we'll put the head towards like really cocked back, being he is a zombie. So we'll cock it almost kind of strangely back. Give that big old cranium. And give a little shoulder layout. The shoulders are going to be, so run it that way and then that way. So a little layout like so. Let's see. Alright, that's one pose. Let's go ahead and throw that off aside. See what else we can come up with. We'll run that up there. And let's see, maybe we'll do one that's a little bit different. A pose that most people, what's their normal pose that most people would see? Oh, maybe I can do, maybe we'll do the Wolfman or something like that in like a cat or a cat pose, or that should be pretty cool for a Halloween thing. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Get a silhouette of some poses here. Maybe we'll do, there's that one. Maybe we'll do the cat. We'll do a cat one next. Let's actually throw that back up there. Let me open a new layer. Let's do the cat pose and stuff. We'll run it this way. And we'll do it maybe the Wolfman, like. And we'll run it that way with it. So, and the cat one, we'll probably bring that down a little bit more. No, it isn't. Got to try and make them look right too. Howdy there, Brian. Howdy there, from playing with McGraw. Great drawing. Oh, thanks, brother. How was your day today? Did you have a good day? Let's run this guy down a little bit. That way it's not so tall. And let's see. The cat pose is kind of arched, so we'll give it a little bit of an arch look. And This guy will kind of we'll have the head sort of drawn down a little bit for the Wolfman. So we'll kind of give that. I don't typically do squares, and I mean, you can break it down to basic shapes, but oh, you're welcome. Yeah, pretty good work. The new product for my TPT store. Made a bunch of pre's. Lost friend to the vet to get across. How about you? Got more plane work done? Yeah, I actually had to go down to I went down to Melbourne to work on an autopilot off site for a little bit, and ran into one of my buddies for lunch, so got to do it at the same time. Got three more planes added now to my my list of avionics to do. So kind of curls up, so arches up, so these are going to be kind of pushed, and we'll probably curve him up a little bit more too to get the hands and everything to match. So let's go ahead and grab this sketch. We'll do the neat thing about Clip Studio Paint, we can grab that and we can actually change the bend section on it like so, and I can redo my sketch layout, which is a neat little tool you can do here quickly if you want to do some quick edits without having to erase and redraw. We'll grab the middle section there, put it by the shoulder blade, and we'll ring that down a little bit. That way we get the generic basic that we need for that pose out. That's cool. Wow, 3 more planes. Yeah, and 2 of them are going to be cut to complete custom new panels. So I'm going to be doing some CNC work and some CAD work and stuff on those. So, all right. So this one we might do this. So the top one we'll go up here. We'll do this one. It'll be a zombie. Go to this layer. This one will be the wolf. Maybe the Wolfman, because it says it can be any monster too. So let's shrink that down. Just getting some quick little sketches that we want to do out. Oops, I need to move them up too. All right, let's hit another layer. Let's see, what would be another pose that we could use with that's yoga poses. The challenge is for today is yoga, and it's the same thing. It's the same blue coloring, so it can be Batgirl. Well, let me go back to it again real quick so I can see. Batgirl, zombies, ghosts, or any monsters. So any monsters kind of puts it out. Oh, maybe we'll do a blob or something like that. And we'll have them do... Oh, let's see here. What would be one for Batgirl? Oh, actually, we could do a Batgirl one too. Or maybe we'll do... Well, that one might get a little bit too thirsty. Doing Batgirl, we might have too thirsty of a picture. Let's see. There's the blob. What other monsters are there? Let's see. The Armand hips moved like it had joints. The Armand hips moved like it had joints. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a neat tool with the lasso tool that you can do in Clip Studio Paint. When you're doing sketching stuff like that and you want to adjust it, there's a neat thing here. I'll zoom it in so we can see a little bit better. Let me grab the lasso tool, and I want to move that arm. I can scroll it around that way, and I grab my transform tool where it allows me to move it around. And in the center here, it starts out in the center, is this little square, this little crosshair. Well, that's the pivot point or the movement point. It's almost like doing a 3D animation rig. So I put it basically where the shoulder joint where I wanted it at. And then I can grab it and I can actually rotate it over here. I can bring it back. And I can also roll it back forward if I need to. Actually, I'm on layer 3. Let me cancel that out. Let me go to layer 2. That way, do the same thing. Let me move that up there. And then I can actually take it and it'll actually, whoops, that's the wrong thing. There we go. Now there's the rotate. So it'll actually rotate it at that pivot, whatever that crosshair is at. So it's a neat thing, especially if you're trying to get like some quick sketches out and you're kind of doing it quick and dirty and stuff, and it might not exactly be the right posture or your right lengths and stuff. You can grab them and do different lengths and whatnot. So let me actually just notice that I did layer 3 had the lines on it. I don't want that. All right. But yeah, that's a neat little option. That's a neat little function you can do here on the Clip Studio Paint. It's a little bit different compared to doing it with the old analog drawing. The old analog drawing, you got to use a kneaded eraser or something to clean up your lines and then kind of re-sketch out a new spot to it. Let's look up monsters. What other monsters do we have? Halloween monster list. Maybe we'll do like a movie monster. Oh, there's a mummy we could do. The Grim Reaper. What would be a funny pose for the Grim Reaper? How about we have him do... let's open it. Make this image a little bit bigger. Oh, we'll have to do the Grim Reaper, but we'll have to have him do something kind of cool. Or something a little bit interesting. Maybe we'll have him do that, the tree pose. Alright, let's try tree pose. That should be interesting. And we'll give him, go back to my sketch pencil. Let's give him a little hit here. And he kind of rolls. He's going to have kind of a little curve to that. That's going to be his line to help give the weight to it. So we'll do that. We'll give him, he's going to have his arms together, they'll kind of have a little bit of a run up. So, and we'll have to decide how much we'll have with him. He might have we might give him a little bit of a cloak thing to it. That should make it pretty cool also. So give him the little hip area. And the hips. Let's run him up here a little bit higher. And let's see, maybe we'll give the hips a little bit of a tilt. So let's rotate that. Make it a little bit more dynamic look to it, because he's also going to be doing the tree pose, so it's going to have the one leg sticking out and then bent back in. So that should be a nice little unique piece. So we'll do that, get his leg toward it comes out, and then it'll be actually come right back in. So we want to hip. Don't need that high of an arch. So we'll go that way. And then we'll do the other one down here for this other hip. So he'll have that length, run it that way. Shrink him down a little bit. Don't need to have him that big as a sketch right now. There we go. And then we will do, so he'll do it that way. We'll run this way. We want to kind of keep that straight line down there to where it looks like he's got to where he feels balanced. We don't want him being off balance. So we'll do that. And of course, we could also do, the shoulders, they kind of run down this way. So, and this is just using, all I'm doing is I'm looking off of my other screen that my camera's on. And I'm just looking at different yoga references, poses, lists. So it kind of helps out for getting a good accurate piece, and then we just kind of come up with what we need to. Maybe we'll do, now what we can do is we could actually put his head to the side like that, and we'll actually give him maybe we'll give him his scythe, or his, like that. So we'll have the curve of him going that way, and then in order to complement that curve, we'll put the scythe the other way to where it kind of follows up. Then maybe we'll run his scythe over like that. We'll run it up like that. That actually looks like it might actually come up pretty good. So this will be the Reaper. All right, so we got 3 sketches. Got about 10 minutes into them, so let's just go ahead. Let's work with this one. Let's see if we can do a Reaper. Do a Grim Reaper. That might actually be pretty cool. Do him in a yoga pose. Grim Reaper yoga pose. Alright, let's clean up some of this screen stuff. Get rid of that screen. Let's go get rid of that screen and go back to the yoga pose stuff. So, we ought to do... Alright. Come on, clear that out. Okay, let's get a new layer. Let's take this layer. That's kind of a basic thing. We'll just drop the opacity down on that. Let's run it in. Grim Reaper kind of have the skull look to him, so we'll have to give him this skull. So let's, let me go to a 10. That way I'm not doing too thick of. Let's see. He has good. Yeah. He has good. I think I missed some of that text. Frontier Man. So let's hit this. Give him. We'll start working out a look to him. So we'll got that. His eyes will be. Run his eye sockets in. Start to flesh him out. Pardon the pun. So. And of course we'll give him. Sort of a, he's got a little bit of a top up here. Don't forget that cranium. Whoop, nope, it's not a flat top. He's not Franken. Not Frankenstein. He has good balance. That's correct. That's what's going to make the picture. That's the whole point of doing the basic layout sketch on it. If you get the quick sketch and everything put into the right proportion to where he looks like he's actually weighted and he's balanced on there, as you do the rest of the drawing, you'll be able to keep building it up. But if you don't start out with a good foundation of that, it's not gonna fly. Plain and simple. So let's do that way. Let's give his cheekbone there. Kind of over-exaggerate his cheekbone, but that's okay. We're probably not going to see too much of the side of the head there. We're just kind of getting it laid out. And of course his teeth. We'll put a quick little run through with that. So, and of course maybe we'll give him a pretty good sized chin for that. So run it up. So we'll do the Reaper that way. Maybe let's see. It's the way the cloak will run. We want it to probably run something like maybe that length. And then we'll bring it that way. Maybe we'll add an extra fold into that. That looks a little bit better. That does look a little better. Let's take that line out and let's add an extra bend into it. Let's actually fatten my, is that my hard? No, that's my vector. We'll go to hard and we'll bring that up to a 20 so that way it makes it a little bit easier to clean up some of these lines. And what's my soft at? Yeah, soft's at 20 as well. Okay, so we got that. Runs up that way. So we'll do sort of a top hood. And let's see here. The Reaper, he has his quick cloak. Maybe we'll run his cloak to where it kind of runs down this side of the leg, but this leg will be pulled out. So maybe we'll run his cloak down that way. This is just to kind of get a flow. Because could run that. Try to see how got to see how cloth drapes down. So run it that way and then bring it down there. Let's see if we can run the cloth that way, bring it down, do a little. Alright, so we run it that way. Just throw a couple little curved pieces in there to get an idea. Give this man some 80s shoulder pads. All right, so we got that. Do we want to give them sleeves, or do we want to kind of, maybe we want to get a little bit more of that skull, the skeleton of them, not the skull, but the skeleton of them. So maybe we'll bring the sleeves and have them to where they're slid down because his arms are up. So maybe we'll just kind of, I don't want to cover up too much of that there. Maybe we'll just do a kind of a thinner drop. Something like that, maybe. We'll run it in. And let's see. Run the cloth that way. And let's see, we'll put the cloth hanging down, drape down this way as well. More straight on. So he looks awesome. Yep, we're gonna this is gonna be a double mix. We're doing the Spooktober. We got yoga pose, which will be which is the tree pose. We got the Reaper that we're going to do, the monster we're going to do it with. And we're going to do kind of like a dynamic drawing to it as well, dynamic figure drawing piece to it. So let's finish roughing out some of this area on here. This guy might actually come out pretty good. We might actually have to put him into a canvas print or something if he comes out looking really nice. Frank and the others did pretty good too. We might actually do something with them too. All right, so we've got that. So what we need now is I got my skull reference up there, but unfortunately I don't have a full anatomical guy. So let me pop up a quick anatomy thing of an arm, arm bones. There we go for anatomy. That way we can just get an idea. Kind of make it. We want it to look good. We don't want it to look terrible. Oh, that looks actually a pretty good image. Let me open that in a new window, in a new tab. Okay, so what we want is the bottom bone is going to be a little bit thicker, a little bit bigger. So, and the way it runs back this way, so we're going to run it up like that. We're going to run that bone to here. And then you got the other upper one that's going to be, it's not quite as thick up here. It kind of has a little bit of a curve, but it's not quite as thick, so we'll run it that way. So, and then we're not going to be too accurate with the hand part because we want it to, because it's kind of a bone cluster. We'll probably do a basic cluster up here of the bones, the way they kind of bend out. And then we'll have, let's see, we want one that way, and then of course that way. Run it in, do a little bone piece there, and let's save ourselves some hassle. That's what's the nice thing about this piece. We'll do a quick layout, probably to about here, I'm guessing. We can probably run a nice little quick line down, but I want to I don't want it to be completely straight and static. I want it to have a little bit of other depth to it. So maybe because I like that kind of natural curve. Let's actually get rid of that. We'll do it all natural. So bring that down, and then we'll take it and we'll give it a little bit of a curve because we want to make it look like he's got an actual that's not quite exactly what I'm looking for. Maybe we'll kind of get an idea of what we want for the base of it, to where when his staff that it sits down on, we'll do that, and let's see here. Yeah, something that way. Okay. And the scythe blade, we will actually use a curve line with a point, and that'll actually give us a nice clean line, because that's going to be a metal portion of it, and we want that to look not so much, it's not so organic. We want that to kind of be a little bit of the clean area to That should actually look pretty good. Okay, so we got that. We got this bone hand up. We got to do a bone hand down. So let's add him into the mix about. Put the pinky there. Like that. We'll also add a bone area that way. And let's put the bigger bone down here at the bottom. Alright, and we'll run this up under here. And now we can have a little bit more weight for the way the drop, the rest of his pieces are going to go down. We might actually have to do something a little neat up here. What I think we'll do is when we do the coloring and stuff around his skull, because that'll be his vertebra area. We can see that. But we'll have that kind of faded out. Maybe we'll put a glow around his face and stuff. We'll do a little bit of a color dodge on that. And I don't think we want to put anything too crazy in here. Maybe we'll just do a couple little chain pieces just for the cloak, how it holds together up top. So now the fun part, the lower part, because we're going to have, we're going to have to do the, I guess we'll do, I guess we could do the bones and stuff. We can actually make them total like a bone piece. Maybe we can, gotta figure out what we can do for his feet and what his legs. Maybe we'll do that. We'll do a bone structure for that, but we'll add an effect to it. We'll do a little bit of hazing to where it looks almost like a fog's coming out the bottom, to where you can see hints of the bone, but it'll have like a fog that'll kind of hide a little bit of what's underneath the cloak. Sort of like there's more than just a skeleton underneath there. Give a little bit more, play a little bit more depth into it. Okay, let's go to leg. Let's see. Skeletal. And skeletal system. There we go. That'll work. That'll be good references. Boop. All I need is just to see some bones. Come on. That's a terrible picture. Let's see. Maybe you know what we could do? We could probably give him some, we could actually give him some pants, you know. Give him maybe some like a baggy, like a lower part of a cloak, like, you know, that actually adds onto it. But I don't like that. It kind of takes away some of the actual structure of it. So let's stick with the, let's go to a skeletal. Skeletal system. Let's see. That should work. Much better. Alright. So, what we'll do, like I said, we'll make, let's see here, we'll give him a little bit of a roll to that. What do I got? There we go. Also, guys, if you're liking the stream and stuff, don't forget, hit the like, subscribe button if you're Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. You know, I need to get some more, I need to get more people on it and get monetized, and I can also drop some more. Once I get that, I can unlock other stuff that we'll be able to do on here as well. So if you do guys get a chance and you like what you see, please give a little hit to it. And let's see, we want, see, I almost want to give him something, because if the skeletal structure is a little, maybe we will give him sort of like a cloak for this, and we'll kind of see if we can make it look baggy enough to where it'll look good. Let's play with that. Let's see. And what we can do is we can make his 7 feet tall. Actually, he's, when you look at him, I think I have him structured right. I have a tendency to do this without noticing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And, yep, 8 1/4 inches tall. That's actually a normal thing for like comic book superhero looks, or comic book hero, or comic book types. 8 feet, 8 heads tall, 8¼ heads tall. It's a way easy way to do that, and I've been doing that since I was a kid. So let's see here. Let's give that. We'll give him some of a bone look to it. Got some good music going on too. So we'll give him that. Yeah, we'll give him yoga pants. You know, those gauzy looking pants. That should be pretty cool. And maybe we'll have it to work hang kind of. We'll have the spine showing in here as well. That should be pretty neat. And let's see here. We want to run the pants to where they have a little bit of bagginess to them. We'll run it up that way. And let's see here. Right on, we'll do. So, and of course, these guys are all. So we give him his bony feet. They kind of go from there to there. They got a little bit more of a length, and then they get sort of a top piece here. And then, all right. There we go. So it kind of has a nice mixture. We got like, he's got his Reaper robes, but he's kind of doing his yoga, like before he goes out and collects the souls that he needs to collect. He's doing his evening yoga, and he's in his yoga pants. So, all right. That actually doesn't look too bad. Let's drop the back area on that so we can just kind of get and see where we're at now, which does not look bad at all. I think we're starting to get somewhere. So let's run this up, and we'll just clean up some of those. I say that actually has some pretty good lines to it. Looks great. Thanks, Brian. All right, let's do some cleanup line here. We'll go to a vector line area. Let's drop this guy down to where he's a little bit lighter. Now let's see if we can do some nice G-pen work. Maybe, yeah, we'll leave it at the dark. We'll leave it. Maybe we'll go back to a dark graphite color to go over that for it now. So, and let's run this. We're done with that picture. So I have a better reference. I'll use my little skull reference guy. Nice little thing. I think it was like $6 on Amazon to have, and he does a great little reference, especially when you need to have something to look at. We'll throw him up there. Okay, so let's see here. Ooh, what type of line thickness we got? 8. All right. So let's. And we want see if we. It's kind of hard to give him expression because it's a skull, but we're going to do a little bit of bending of the eye sockets to see if we can get a little bit of a look to it, a little bit of a feel. But we want it to. Don't want it to look too goofy. Let's see, we clean that up. Nope, not liking that. Go to my vector stuff, clean this all out. Let's try it again. Whoops. We'll put him off to the side there. So maybe we'll Maybe we'll bring it up a little bit more. Yeah. Clean that line out. Let's drop this down to a 6 so I'm not using too thick of lines. That's a little bit better. There we go, a little bit thinner. So we're going to run that in. And we want to have sort of here. Let's find the center. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4, 6. Doesn't quite have all his teeth, but hey. One, two, three. This is the run that way. Get a little bit of a. There we go. We'll run this up. Let's see. Might actually pull one of them teeth out. Let's see what happens. So we'll run that way. Now all this stuff now that I'm doing is not on a regular typical rasterized layer. This is considered a vector layer. That's the reason why when I hit it with my vector eraser and I want to clean up the edges where there's like a little overlap, I can do that by just hitting the little tip, and it just takes out just the tip of whatever that line is because it uses vectors. So instead of like where in the sketching I was doing a raster layer. So maybe we'll run. That's doesn't look too bad. Maybe we'll put a give it a little bit more curve to it. Because don't forget, we're going to do some coloring on this guy too. We're going to do some color and some neat effects to it. And let's see here. And with vector, you can do this, and you can clean up all the stuff behind it, just like so. It looks nice little clean lines. If you're going to do it digitally, might as well know how to use all the tools you can. Help make your life easier. It's not cheating. It's just knowing what you got. So I got his mouth down a little bit more, so we can do this way. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's see here. Here's bottom. His bottom's kind of run down, and then so we'll have a little bit of an inward. Inward run that way. And let's see if we can. Maybe we'll zoom him out a little bit and see what we got. Yep, that's what I thought. I was doing the angles a little bit off. Working up too close. So run him that way. I like to see it in speed drawing after it's done. That's cool to watch. Yeah, I think I actually have it set up. Yep, my time lapse is on. So once I get done with it, I'll actually be. I've been doing time lapses on all the drawings and stuff. So like Frank and all them, I'll be able to start exporting them out to where you'll see them. I'll post them as quick videos as a time lapse. So. So I'll go this way. We'll run him up that way. We'll run him down. And let's see. This is the importance of not knowing just how the character is drawn, but also knowing the muscle, the skeletal structure. Because in order to draw the people correctly, if you know their skeletal structure, you'll be able to then put muscle and then of course the skin on it. And that's some of the stuff that I have been working on also more on, because I hadn't done that in a while. This guy goes up also like that, so let's clean that little. Okay, so we got that. Let's see here, let's bring him up. We'll give him a little curve. Let's clean up the little tag, and let's combine those two. But yeah, that's a neat, that is something new that I've been doing with a lot of my artwork and stuff now, is to add the time lapse to it, to where it looks like it shows a speed drawing, and basically it condenses all this down to like 30 seconds or a minute. So we got that. Let us maybe we'll bring that down a little bit. Don't have to have it too high. Maybe we'll bring this up. Yeah, that's almost too high, so let's try and bring it that way. And then we can bring it that way. And we'll that looks a little bit better. Okay, so I'm gonna have that. We want it to run. And of course, this will come down in that way. And we'll run down this way. We'll run that. Yeah, that doesn't look bad. We'll add some chain onto that also to clean it up. And let's see here. Let's actually let's just put a little that way. We'll run. No, I don't like that. Let's cloak that, and we'll see what we've got. Ooh. Actually, let's redo that line. Let's make that line look a little bit better. There we go. That looks gives a little bit better for the cloth. See if we can join that portion. Perfect. Perfect. And what do we got? Oh, we got a little tag hanging out. Whoops. Too much of a tag. Let's see if we can just blend it in. Blend it in. That'll work. Title as a speed drawing routine. People like to see it done in amazement. Oh yeah. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I've been doing with some of these. Like I gotta process and do Frank and the zombie and stuff along with the coloring and whatnot for them. So those will be done up as a quick little speed drawing. Okay, so we got that. We want to have. Let's see. Let's see. Let's just add a couple little hints of bone structure here. We're not going to see too much of this detail. It's going to get faded out. And we'll do, whoops, too fat. And of course we can need to put a clavicle looking piece right there. And of course you'll see the sternum. All right. And let's just kind of run a little spot there. Just so we got some, so we have that. All right. And we want to let's see here, let's run this down. And what we'll do is we want to make it look like it's coming over the leg. Maybe a little bit better. That's a little bit better. That's what I'm talking about. It's cool seeing creativity in the works. Yeah, the neatest thing is seeing it's just how do we come up with this? And we came up with this literally within like 3 to 5 minutes by just doing other sketches based on these little parameters that we have ourselves set up with. And then we use some of our basic areas for making it one dynamic. Basically some good movement. We want to make sure we have the weight on them. Looks great. This guy actually might come out looking pretty cool. So, and of course we're going to run the cloak up. Did some quick little curve lines for that. The way the clothes kind of bunch up and roll. That's a very doing clothing and the way cloth folds and falls and whatnot, and how it just bends and turns when you twist and move around. That's a very difficult thing sometimes to do, and it's even harder when you're trying to come up without having a reference to see it. So sometimes it's good just to have a piece of cloth with you. That way you can bunch it up, you can drape it off of something to see how it would hang, like off of a ball, So, all right, so we're gonna have that. We got that. We need. Let's get this other. And we want to. I want it to come up a little bit higher, like that. Yes, that looks better. Really brings when he's got his other arm up and his other arm lower. If you look at shoulders, this shoulder is higher than this one when I'm holding. And if I put my foot up like he does, so I'm balanced that way, you'll see that's where the curve runs. So this will still sit up. So it kind of gives the good believability of balance on there. That's the kind of neat thing about doing the yoga pose stuff with this, is you're actually going to be doing the same thing that way. So we want to run it that way. And let's clean up some of this. So we want to run here. Get rid of that. Zoom in even closer. Get rid of that. There we go. And let's see here. Got the bone structure that way. Let's run that. We want it to give a good amount of weight to it, to where it looks like it's draping correctly. So we want it to kind of run there. That doesn't look too bad. I don't want to close it off like that. Let's maybe run it that way. And we want to give it a little bit of a sharp point. And we'll run this. Not sure yet. Let's see here. We got that. And let's see here. Let's curve that. Maybe let's give that a little bit more of a There we go. Connect some of them lines. So we have that wiping that way. This is coming down. The way he's got his armed up, it's going to this is going to bunch up, so it's going to start to build up a little bit. So we need to put we're going to need to put a little bit of a bunching on here, so what it looks like. There we go. Maybe we'll just correct this one. Let's bring it down like that. It's got some good music for like a Halloween thing to it. Put it together. That doesn't look right. We want that looks a little better. Yeah. And we're given a believability also that this is bone and this is bone in here. It's like so it's not going to be like really built out. Because if you look, I'll show you the neat little reference. Let me turn my mouse back on. See if I can drag this over here and just pop it in real quick. Boop. There's that's the reference I'm just basically using for a human skeleton and whatnot, so I can take a peek at. I'll leave that on in there. So. A little bit of a artifact there. Let me get rid of that. Alright, so we're getting him put together. What we might do also is, as I'm doing this, I'm thinking instead of it just being sort of like a grayish black cloak, maybe we'll do sort of like maybe we'll do a neat like pattern effect in there. Maybe we'll do like a universe looking design. They'll flow and fall around with the cloth, where like it has stars in it and whatnot, and like it's kind of has a universe to it, like it's just not some black dingy cloak. All right. And let's make this a little bit in that way. He looks awesome. Pop in the shower. Be back soon. All right, Bri. I'll see you in a few, brother. So let's and let's clean that up. That looks kind of cool too, that you actually can see through his, you'll be able to see what's behind him, like with that bone look to that. Not too bad. So let's hit this. Kind of give some of this, the hand has all sorts of bones in it. That way. Run the knuckle up. And this one. There we go. And let's see here. Alright, we got those. Get the little one, the little pinky one. Bring that down. And of course we need to put this one down that way. Let's see here, we can help if I get my hand in the right position. That's a little too thin. That blows out a little bit. Let's just, Let's give a little bit of a curve to it. We'll do what size we are. 6, perfect. Give it a little bit of asymmetry to it, that way it doesn't quite feel... There we go. That way it doesn't feel too confined. There we go. Run that up. Okay, so we got that through there. We're going to want to see the actual piece through in between the fingers. So we'll do that. That was way too perfect. That's better. So run it that way. Not bad. And let's give this a little head to it. And let's see here, we want to give that to what shows that it's held on. We might do something on the other side of that as well. So kind of give a maybe do a little decorative piece or something on the end there. Depends. It does have a nice line to it, so we might actually leave it alone just so it keeps that negative space over there. So. And we got knuckle, or the lower part of the fingers there. And you got the other thumb. Can you lower the left? Lower the left what? I'll wait for, see when he posts back on it. Can you lower the left? I don't know what the left what. Let's zoom this out and we'll hit this at the same time and we'll run this. And we'll run that to there and we'll give this guy a little bit of a curve down here. We'll give this guy a curve to match. Right about there. Can you lower the left arm? You mean like the forearm? Yeah, I can actually. We'll go to, let's go over here and let's see if we can play with this a little bit. We'll put the pivot up here. And we'll bring it down. It might be a little bit too, that's a little bit too low. For some reason, some of my chat gets left. Can you lower? Oh, for some reason, some of my chat gets left off. I don't know, me. Let's see here. So let's put it that spot, and let's see how that looks. Because if we run a straight line, yep. So that matched with the shoulder also. Because if we do the shoulder too, it has the same height difference. So that'll actually work out just fine. There we go. Let's go back over to the over to here. And let's clean up some of this. All right. All right. There we go. That matches up a little bit better on it. Looks good. All right. Let's see if we can just run it that way, and run it down that way. Let's see how that looks. Might be too sharp. No, not quite. That point can be okay. We'll do it that way. We'll run it that way. That looks a little better. Kind of give a little bit of that thickness to it, and we'll run. Whoop. All right. Got a nice little beat to it. Is the music doing okay? Can you guys hear the music all right, or is it a little bit too low? There you go. It's not too loud, or is it not too quiet, right? I just bumped it up a tiny bit just toward, because I hear it nicely in my my headset and stuff. So all right. So let's see. Got. Let's run this. We want to put it down. Music's okay, good. Let's see if we can clear out some of this mess. It actually will roll between through there. That's not too bad. Nope, didn't like how that turned out. Alright, so this is what we got. Take a nice look at it. Let's do a little flip flop to see how it feels. So we got that so far. You do it you flip them horizontally so you can actually see if anything's out of position, like eye position, the shoulders, the hips, if he doesn't feel like he's weighted on both sides. So, because after a while of looking at the same picture like this, one side, your eyes you're kind of lazy and they kind of fill in and stuff to where it feels like, yeah, it doesn't feel too bad. And then when you flip it over, you're like, oh, geez, that eye socket was way off. But we're doing okay still. All right. So if you ever see somebody else drawing and stuff, and you see that they're doing like that, or they got a lot of it they're looking at, and they do this real quick, just to kind of see, that's what they're doing. Is they're looking at different things as they're flipping back and forth to see if that all pieces of the picture actually has a good balance to it. So. Alright, that actually doesn't look bad that way, and I think I might leave it blank like that for the implied line behind the bone. Okay. So let's take that. Let me bring it out a little bit further. You bring it over here so that way I got a nice little arm length, because we're going to flip them, and I'm going to use my actual shoulder and stuff for the longer areas and whatnot. You can change the way you hold your pencil up, and you can actually use your arm and your elbow and stuff and slide it that way, and you get a different, cleaner line out. Okay, doesn't look too bad. Doesn't feel so jagged. It feels a little bit more smoother of a wisp to it. There we go. Made him move. Oh yeah, doing the flip back and forth with the horizontal flip. Yeah, it does look like he wiggles when you do it that way. So, all right. So we got that. His hip's kind of hanging, so there's not going to be too much of a bump out this way. Let's see. There we go. That's better. Okay. And as you can see, if you guys saw the posts on Facebook, Instagram, and stuff, I actually got my own QR codes now for all the links to the sites and whatnot. That was my workaround for some of this stuff. Like Instagram wouldn't let me put like hyperlinks in like the images if I was saying that we're going live or whatnot. So by doing the QR code though, you can screenshot it and you can actually load it up or boot it up using the QR scanner, which is actually pretty cool. Took a little bit to make those, to get those, to build those up, but kind of color coded them and whatnot. That looks way. Let's not make that look so. That looks a little bit better. And let's give him a little bit of a curve on that. Let's see. Let's see how that looks. Take the. All right. I'm back. He's looking incredible. Cool. Thanks, Bri. Let's see. We'll zoom back out and we'll get an idea. So this one might actually be another good one that we can do with. Nice thing is also if we can't wait for Christmas drawings. Yeah, the Christmas ones are going to come out and those are going to be pretty neat. We're going to, with the Christmas ones, we're going to be playing a lot more with airbrush and might do some use some color dodge tools and whatnot, and maybe even grab some of the. We'll play with some of the watercolor brushes and stuff for the bleeds and whatnot, and see if what we can come up with some neat looks for that. But oh yeah, we're gonna do some neat stuff for Christmas. We also got Thanksgiving we gotta do, so fall festival, all that stuff as well. All right, let's hit this and go to a curve. Let's go ahead and get the scythe and put in. Put him about there. We'll pick his point. Let's run him up. That didn't look bad at all. Maybe we'll give it a little bit. Whoops. Let's try that again. We'll give him a little bit of a fatter look. up here, and we'll thin it out. Yeah. That looks. Yeah, awesome. Yes, we're gonna do some neat stuff because, and who knows, maybe we'll make some stickers for Thanksgiving. We'll do like the those little Japanese kawaii or cute stickers and stuff where they turn all the things like into like the what was it the sweet potatoes with the marshmallows and stuff. They give like the little marshmallows, little happy little faces and stuff in there, and they kind of we might do something like that one day on one of the days for Thanksgiving time for November. So let's see here. Let's get him his yoga pants. Let's put some pants on this boy. And let's see here. We need to have hip. And we need to do let's zoom out before we do that. That way we can see how this is going to flow, because we might actually it'll be like that. We need to run them down. This will be the hips. Cool. Yes, very cool. Whoop! I heard the doggo barking. What are you? Well, that looks like he's almost floating on that one. We might have to get rid of that and redo that. Bloop, bloop. Let's give this a little bit more to this side. McGraw says, howdy to Lily. Did McGraw hear Lily barking and he started barking too? Oh, that's hilarious. Well, the girls came in, so she's talking to him now. She's trying to tell the girls something. Let's see here. We'll give. We want kind of a run sort of like that. We'll run it sort of that way. That might clean up some of the mess. We might actually, we're going to be, that I think might actually look better if we run that in. Maybe we'll, let's see, clean some of this. There we go. Let's see. So, pant leg runs, kind of folds. Maybe we'll have it to where it runs that way. Head to the kneecap. Let's see. That looks a little bit better. We're actually making pretty good time with this guy. Of course, I was doing some drawing beforehand, so I was already warmed up, so we didn't do any warm-up sketches like we usually do, doing it cold. So, and my warm-up sketches was actually analog. I was doing analog drawing. So, working on the analog drawing, I was working on muscle structure over the bones, because once you kind of get the bones set up, you want muscle structure. And then, depending on the type of person that you're drawing, depends on how soft or rigid it is. So if it's a muscular person, they're not going to have nearly as much softness or kind of or smoothness to in certain areas. So, and you have to take account for that. How do I want that to work? Let's see. That's the reason why it doesn't look right. Because it needs to be not. We need to get. Let me go to my. Clean up. Take that line out, and let's see if we can clean up some of that and make it feel a bit more correct. Because it was kind of flopping away like it was blowing in the wind, and we want it towards draping down. So we want it to have a little bit of weight to it. And the way that I was looking at an angle, that was feeling right, but that's why you also got to zoom out and see, and that's why I also have my navigation window up here in the top right. So I can kind of get a full view. Let's see. That looks a little bit better. We need to so if that runs out there. So we'll run it that way. It's always more difficult, especially when you don't have just straight regular feeling pants and you got the baggy pants to where they actually, maybe we'll run him like that. Let's do a little bit of cleanup. Can you put the foot on the knee? Well, when you actually look at the, let me see if I can come back to that picture of the, because I'm usually doing the pose. And let's see if I can grab this picture and I'll put it in here too. Bloop. There we go. Now let's go to the tree. Tree pose is here. And if you notice that the foot on the tree, on this one, the knee is here and the foot's up there. So we're actually using an actual, reference pieces to it. That's the reason why the foot's that high up. So we're trying to look accurate and still have a little bit of fun to it at the same time. So, but yeah, it does feel a little bit. It would feel a little bit better if it wasn't up so high. But the way the pose is, because I've got the wrong color, because I've tried doing the tree pose, and that's actually an interesting thing to do. You can do it. Great. See if we can get a little bit more of a shape out of these guys also. There we go. All right. And we need to do the bones. The bones! Oops, wrong way. Oop, gotta go to my... Okay, so he kind of, that one kind of runs up, and then you got this one that runs that way. All right. Let's give a little, because there's the big one, and then there's this one that protrudes out just a little bit further. That's like that. He's the Grim Reaper. He can put his foot in where he wants to. Yeah, I guess you could. I was kind of thinking about doing that with like the zombie one. That's why I kind of had that other sketch. I was thinking of doing that, but having like his head like actually sitting back on his back, but I didn't want it to be too creepy. So that's why we always do a couple sketches. So let's. Let's see here. We want to give. Let's see. Let's clean that out. Let's. Didn't like that too much. Let's see here. The front, the way the front cloth would drape and hang down. We sort of want. It's a fine line of putting too much and too little in. So maybe if we. Let's clean that out too. So we'll do it that way. And down like that. That might actually work out a little bit better. My music stopped. What do we got? Next track. What do we got? Let's go. Oops. Which one have we got going on here? I had some pretty good stuff, but for some reason it stopped playing. Oh, there we go. Much better. Sorry about that technical difficulty. Back to the show. Let's see if we can make this a little. See if we can work this guy up a little bit better. Okay. Wheel. Let's, so we don't forget. Should we get a little? Let's clean that off. Let's see what we got here. Nah, we'll just leave it blank like that. It doesn't look too bad. Thought it might have needed something in it, but nope. That looked like a sausage. That didn't look much like a bone. And that's the wrong spot. That's more like it. And we have got his foot down there, so we've got a nice planted look to him. And we need to do nice little long piece so it runs that way. That looks a little too thin for that. That's a little bit better. A little bit better. I think the audio is having trouble trying to. Well, let's see here. Let us look at. Try this one. That might just be interesting. Interesting. Okay. Alright, see what we got. Alright, we got a cleaned up piece of the Reaper. Let's go ahead and save our work while we're here. Let's see. Remember our Spooktober 28 Reaper. Alright, so now let's do a base color layer. And let's see here, we'll give him a little bit of a yellowish color for his for the bones. Let's see if we can hit this in. Nope, that's what I thought. We don't have enough for that, so let's see here. We don't want to use pure white for him for the main color, because one, it'll just blast everything out. Looks good. Thanks, Frontier Man. Let's see if we can actually do this a little bit easier, so I'm not. Let's, can we grab all outside of them? I think we can. That doesn't look too bad. And let's invert it. Go to the base color. Mask outside selection. That way we just color in him. And now, let me actually duplicate that. We want to duplicate layer, and this will be just base instead of base color. And the reason why is we are going to give whoops, we don't want to refer to that. We want it to be refer only to editing layer. Yep. Bloop. boom, now we got him, his background color. That way we can use him as a mask here, so that way we can refer back to it. And what the mask does is it allows us to only stay within his. So if I start coloring, I start working on him, and I go, oh, look at that. It doesn't go past it. So it stays within the mask. Simple thing. So now what we can do is we can actually, let's give him a gray in here. And let's see if we can get some of this. Nope, still doesn't want to do that. We want to do all layers. That's the reason why. Boom, there we go. Now we got it. So now I can take it and I can hit the fill for him. Hit that one. Hit that one. Whoops, wrong thing. There we go. The quick and easy way to coloring. Because then we get the base colors down, basically what we want to use with, and then we can work with lights and darks on that as well. I did see, oh, right in here is where I missed some. So let's actually try that over again. Let's actually come back here. Yep. So what we need to do is we need to hit in there. Oh, we want to do the subtraction. Subtract that and subtract that. So now we go to that. We should be able to hit layer, outside area. Let's duplicate that and let's make sure we got it right. So let's now we got it. See, now it shows them through the bone. So let's make sure we got all the sections done up. So, because there's little tiny areas with this guy when you got that. Do a quick look over. Maybe we'll do, just to give it that little extra, we'll go in here and we'll show that opening between the bones. That'll be pretty cool as well. Don't have to get too crazy with it, but alright. So layer, mask outside selection. Now duplicate. This will be the base. We'll put that below the base color. Then we'll poof. All right. So now that looks good. Now let's go make sure we refer to all layers so it sees our vector lines. Oh, come on. Oh, sorry, got it on the subtraction. Need the addition on it. He's ready to attack somebody. Yep. Just doing his yoga before he goes out and does doing his business. That's all it is. Just his evening yoga. And let's see if we can. Even the Reaper has to stay in shape, keep himself limber. Whoops. There we go. Grabbing little artifacts and clean up areas where we need to have color that goes all the way through. Like that. This guy will, because we'll do a shade inside there, we'll clean it just to that. Let's see if we can get some base colors put on them before we close up for the evening. Got about just under 20 minutes left. All right. That doesn't look bad. They kind of closed that in. That actually looks pretty good. Let's see what we got. So. There we go. A little too much keto. Yep. A little too much anything ain't good for you. There we go. Now that, turn off the ant trail. So now we're going to start to work on the color areas and stuff on that. So like instead of doing just a darker color right there, maybe we'll give him a little bit of a interesting color of a purplish. Maybe we'll give him maybe even a little bit more red in that purple. And then let's even go and fidget with it a little bit. Yeah, we'll get a little bit more red in that purple. And then what we'll do with that is we might actually use that for the inside of his cloak. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, it gives it a little bit more of a richness to it. And that'll allow us to do a little bit of neat stuff inside too. So, as you can see here, like right here, there's an open area on that. So if we go to this, let's see if I can clean some of that lineup area that I had. Go back over to here and we'll, oops, too much erasing. Let's hit that up there. Make sure that's connected and closed. Alright, let's go back to the base color. Go to this. Let's see if we can grab the inside of that. Oh, that's much better. So what's going to be neat is when we do the glow up here, because we'll have that dark purple, it'll be the back area on it, and we'll have it toward it. We'll start to have a neat little ominous glow about them in there. Oh. Should we? That actually might be interesting. No, that'll be too much with the teeth and everything. I was thinking maybe have it where you can see his vertebrae and through his mouth and stuff, but we're going to do something a little bit different with that. Maybe we'll just take that out. Let's. Whoop, that didn't work out. Let's grab all that first, and then what we'll do is let's go to the lasso tool and we'll subtract and remove what we don't want to be filled in. Because we're going to do some implied line drawing. There we go. So by using the negative section of it, we actually can choose what we don't want to have lassoed in. And we can pull that out like so. Okay, and as you can see there was a little bit of artifacting from the paintbrush, bloop, but that'll get cleaned up that way. Yes. Much better. Hit that. And as you can see, some areas where it still runs through, that's the other reason why I used the base color on the bag there. Plaid pants was a golfer. Put plaid pants, give him plaid pants. Oh, maybe that's what we can do to be a little bit extra humorous. Maybe we'll give him like pajama ones, and they'll have like little pumpkins on them. Like they'll be like little Halloween jammy pants underneath. Like he's not quite ready to go out to work yet, so he's still in his PJs. So we might have to give him, maybe we'll do that. Instead of yoga pants, we'll give him like PJs. We'll have to do like a print for him. That actually might be pretty good. Maybe, or we can do a color. We could do an interesting color to it. Maybe we'll let's play with a color. That actually might be a good idea. Let's give him, let's see here. Let's hit that. Let's see what that looks like. Give him some orange. That might actually be pretty cool for an orange color with that. Or maybe better yet, let's try, maybe we'll give him like a dark green thing, and then that way when we do like pumpkins on him and stuff, it'll maybe a little bit darker of a green. How about that type of green? So that's a little bit better. That might be too dark. Yeah, that might actually work out. We'll give him that. He's doing his morning yoga and he's in his jammies. He's not quite ready for work yet. So. Or we could do something even funnier. We can put like a TGIF thing on it, like thank God it's Friday. Like the Reaper's wearing a TGIF pair of pants. That'd be hilarious. Something to that effect. Alright. Or have, say, like Daddy's Little Angel. That'd be hilarious. Something to that effect. That'd be funny. Alright, let's see here. Let's, now that we're getting some of that in here, let's actually go and get, when we do his bone, we're going to give it a little bit of a yellowing to it. So it's not going to be totally white. And let's see what we can come up with. Let's see how that looks on it. So that's going to look pretty good. But in order to feel the colors right, let me go down here and let's pick a background for it. Maybe got the purple, we got that. Maybe we'll give it a, let's give it sort of a, let's deepen the background on this sucker so that way we can actually see how the colors pull maybe on a darker color to that. That might actually feel a little bit better with it. It's good to kind of go with the color we want to do. Maybe we'll, I don't really want to do purple because of the dark, well, we're not really doing a blue purple. We're doing, let's go with a darker blue color. Maybe a darker blue color would look good. That might actually be a good area for a background. So we'll use a little bit of a darker blue look to it. Alright. We'll leave it on that color for now. And then we'll start using that to our cleanup area. And let's see. Moon. Let's see here. Oops, wrong thing. Let's go that way and then don't want it to overlap that crazy. That's more like it. Yeah, moonlight. I haven't quite decided. I just was looking maybe for a darker area. It's also good to, that way you can kind of see if it'd work on a light or a darker piece. You know. Maybe we'll give him a sunset. Do like a sunset being he does his work at night, so he's just getting up. So his up is sort of like a sunset thing. But the moonlight thing actually could work out too. We'll look at that for possibly with the light, using the lighting with it. That'll actually be a good idea. Let's see. Let's turn off the area scaling. That should help out a little bit on that. Alright, hit that, hit that. And let's see here. Okay, starting to get really thinned out. Let's get rid of this. Let's grab some of these artifacts. We don't have them hiding out in there. Grab that. Hit that. Grab those artifacts. Perfect, much better. Grab that. What do we got? Got a little spot there. Grab that spot as well. Let's see here. We're getting close on time. We'll get some of this base area finished up, and this guy we will do some work on Thursday. Definitely. Because he's coming out pretty darn good. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's boom! Hit all that in there. Hit that too. Yeah. And of course we gotta let's just give him a color for his pants for right now. Give him maybe just a salt, like a light blue. That'll work out. Let's hit that. And let's grab the other pant leg down here. Doesn't look too bad. Get some base color set to it. And let's pick up that color for that. Let's grab that color for that. Let's do that, and let's run that and connect that all in. Come on, move for me. Are we done? There we go. Get caught up to speed on me. There we go. And we'll hit that. And now we should be able to hit that and that. Fill that in there. So we're going to getting all our base colors down. And also it's nice because then we can grab them easily on this layer, this base color layer. So that way we can just grab what we need to when we're going to work on lighting, shadowing. Perfect. It'll make it easy in the long run. Got the heat on tonight, going to freeze here. Oh geez. It's kind of it's been a little bit nicer today. It's because it wasn't so sunny. You know, we did get a little bit of a shower, but nothing freezing up yet. The leaves and stuff changing up there already? Or they've already changed? Whoops, wrong color. That's more like it. He's looking pretty good. I'm liking that. Let's give this a little bit of a run there. A little bit of a fill. And I'll just do that one by hand. Oh, let's go to the vector art here. Let's see. Got my vector brush to clean up some of that mess. That looks good. And now we'll go back to the base color. Charging now and falling. Oh, changing now and falling. Woo. Well, that's cool. Those are nice. It's always neat to see the leaves change. Let's hit that, and that. Alright, lasso tool. What we need? We need grab that artifact, that artifact, that artifact. Bring that in, get rid of that, open that up, that up, that up, that up. And now let's go to the subtraction area and let's clean up some of the other stuff we don't need to have colored in. Doesn't look too bad there, not too bad there. There. We'll run that through. Don't need that up over there. We'll send. Oh, okay, cool. Send some pics of the changing leaves. That'd be cool. And let's. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll go to here. We'll grab that guy. We'll just use the eraser tool. Whoops. Now we want the hard eraser. Go down here and we'll erase that too. There we go. It looks amazing. We'll have to watch more. Catch you Thursday. Yep, it's about time. We'll call it too. I appreciate you hanging out with me, Brian. I'll see you on Thursday. We'll do some more work on him. I'm going to get this changed up as well. Let me go over to the big screen. Say my closing pieces. And as soon as it hits. All right. So, thank you guys for hanging out with me. We came up with a neat idea on the Spooktober with number 28, which was yoga. It kind of caught me. I was like, that'd be pretty neat, since we can work on some neat dynamic figure drawing with yoga poses. Yoga poses have a lot of good motion and movement to it. Even though they're static, they still convey motion. So, which is pretty cool. And of course, we got to put it to a neat Halloween theme and stuff when we actually used the Reaper, and it kind of give it a little bit more of a personalized feel to it. So, you guys have yourself a great night. Thank you for hanging out with me. We'll see you on Thursday. You have a good Wednesday. And don't forget, let's create something together. Take care now.